Well, I've been hearing people say that they don't like the oiling system used on these Bersted manufacturing fans. When you drip oil into the oil holes, it tends not to make it to the bearing as efficiently as it does in higher quality fans. In higher quality fans, there's usually a tube that brings the oil directly to the bearing. In these fans, you have a system of ramps and sleeves, I guess, that bring the oil to the bearings. But they can leak, and they drip oil all over, make a mess, they smell oily when they run. You know that problem. Well, I come up with a simple, cheap, and easy solution to do. You may be wondering why you never thought of it before. Well, it's so easy, I did it to this. There it is, that's my solution. Yes, this fan is very dusty from me using it. I love this fan here, and since I like it and use it so much, I decided I wanted to make it easier for me to lubricate it when I do lubricate it. Because this one has a sleeve in there, and the sleeve leaks all over when you put oil in there. So what I did is I simply took a piece of heat shrink tubing like this. I held it up to a heat source and shrunk it a little bit so it would fit through the hole on the top of the motor. I extended it right down into the sleeve, right to the opening where the oil goes into the bearing. And from there I just put the cover back on, screwed it in, and I haven't had a problem since. It worked just as well on the older fans like this Wizard. Let me show you. Here's the oil hole right here. Now I haven't shrunk this piece of heat shrink tubing, but you'll still get the idea. Excuse me. Okay. Here's this little ramp that I was describing earlier. See, when you drip oil through the hole right here, it's supposed to be caught on this ramp and then delivered into the hole. It's not very efficient, and it can leak, gets all over the windings and makes a mess. So what you do is you take this piece of heat shrink tubing and you simply, as best as you can, you shrink it of course, and you put it right in that hole. You tip this up and you make this go right out the hole. Now if you can, leave a part of it unshrunk on the top so it makes like a funnel, and that way your oil goes directly to the bearing without making a mess. This is a very cheap, quick solution. It won't hurt your motor. It won't melt. Heat shrink tubing can take pretty high temperatures even after it's been shrunk, so this is a pretty much fix-all solution right here. And I haven't had a problem with it yet. But I don't run this old Wizard here enough to even do it to this, because this Wizard has overheating issues every so often. So I think I'm just going to stick with doing it to this one, because it runs beautiful. And I intend to keep it that way. The front bearing is not so bad to get to, but I might make one for the front bearing oiler just because this cage is a real pain to get apart. It's a pretty cheaply designed cage. You use these little clips. They're not held on very well, so I have it wired on. So until I make a solution to make the cage a little easier to take apart, I might just make one of these here that maybe comes out the back of the cage here. But overall it works very well, and I highly recommend it to anyone that has a fan made by the Bersted manufacturing company. Wizard, Zero, Toastmaster, even some Kenmores were badged like this. I can't think of any other brands, but there's a whole lot of brands made under or made by this company. So it may even work with other manufacturers, who knows, but give it a try. I highly recommend it.